Off-season continuing to roll here in Frisco as we welcome you to the Star in Frisco in the Cowboys studios. Tom Yarrish alongside Cowboys COO and co-owner Stephen Jones. Stephen, thanks so much for making some time. I know things are busy around here, and obviously you'd much rather be playing football this time of year, but do you take any time to watch some of these games this weekend, or is it full focus on 2026?
No, you can't help but watch them. I mean, obviously it's close in, and as you said, I wish we were participants in these games, but certainly it's made for a busy off season because we have to improve this football team if we want to be in the tournament, as Coach Parcells used to say. But we've got a lot of work to do, and we've hit it head on, and getting to know a lot of defensive-minded guys around the league. It's been very productive, and certainly looking forward to making this defense better. And I think if we can get that done, good things are going to happen to this team. Obviously, we've got had an explosive offense this year that was able to do a lot of good things, but got to improve on the other side of the ball. I know Coach Sorensen's hard at figuring out how to improve on special teams as well. So, we're off to a big start, and we've got a lot of enthusiasm about it and ready to move forward.
I wanted to talk a little bit more about that. Obviously, the biggest point of emphasis at this point is finding your newest defensive coordinator. You've interviewed a lot of candidates already, still some ahead of you. Where do you feel like you guys are at in that process?
Yeah, I think we're in the initial, run, and, we're going to cast a wide net. I mean, whether it's half a dozen, 10, 12 coaches when it's all said and done. I don't know what that number will be, but then we'll narrow it down. We're already starting to narrow it down, and we'll start to bring guys in for in-person interviews. Some of the guys that we felt were the guys that would fit, not that they're all not qualified. They're all qualified, but the guys who fit what we want to be as a defense, the identity we want to have, that fit with the personnel that we have on the defensive side of the ball, because we think we got a lot of good pieces in place. We know we have to improve not only from a coaching staff standpoint, but we also need to improve from a personnel standpoint. And so all that goes into the mix and the equation, and I think we're making good progress.
And as far as, you mentioned that it's a process and you're casting a wide net, and some of that net is coaches that are still participating in the playoffs as well. Is there a timeline that you're wanting to have your new defensive coordinator set?
No, we hadn't necessarily set a deadline, if you will. I think it's more getting it right. And, once we feel comfortable that we have the right guy, then we'll pull the trigger and we'll move from there. Obviously, there's a lot of as many as I think I've ever seen in terms of a coaching carousel, if you will. I think there's 9 vacancies right now, although one of them I think got filled by one of our top coaches in the league, and Coach Harbaugh there out of Baltimore, but going to the Giants. So certainly I have a lot of respect for him, and Giants are a great organization.
And you mentioned that this coaching cycle is unbelievable. Do you feel like it's almost is that better timing when there's so many different openings and so much movement? Do you feel like you have a wider pool of candidates to choose from in this instance?
Yeah, I mean, you could say one or the other, but I do think it gives more opportunities. The fact that some of the staffs are opening. When the head coach goes, usually a lot of the staff go with it, and some of these teams are coming off historically really good football teams, in particular the one I just mentioned, the Ravens and the Steelers. Those are obviously teams that have been playoff contenders year in and year out for pretty much the whole tenure of Coach Tomlin and Coach Harbaugh's coaching tenure. So, I think there are opportunities out there, and we'll continue, as I said, cast a wide net, learn a lot, and hopefully come up with the guy that we want that complements Coach Schottenheimer and his offense and the culture we want to have here with the Dallas Cowboys.
And we've talked a lot about the coaching side of things, but the personnel side, this is when it starts to heat up a little bit too. We were talking before the show about the Senior Bowl coming up, the Shrine Bowl right here in your backyard. How much have you started to dive into this upcoming NFL draft, and if you have, what sort of positions do you feel like are really strong in this class that you can use to build this defense or the offense too going forward?
Well, it's probably too early. As you said, we've all been focused on our staff, and we want to get our staff right. And then in the meantime, Will McClay and his staff are grinding on the upcoming draft. And So obviously they're doing the work. We're getting the preparation, but Jerry and I focus has been on, helping Coach Schottenheimer work with him and his staff to get, to get this defensive coordinator right.
And going back to that, when we talked to you guys at the end of the season, you mentioned casting the wide net, and you and Brian and Jerry kind of outlined, what it was you're looking for, some traits that you're looking for in terms of being a teacher, being able to effectively communicate complex things and make it simple. How have you seen that play out in this process in terms of what kind of feedback are you getting from some of these candidates that makes you encouraged that you have guys in front of you that you feel like can do that for this defense?
Yeah, you just mentioned the traits, and then when you have the interview, you look for those traits. Are they a great teacher? Can they communicate and verbalize things, complicated things, in a way that make it easy for the players, so he doesn't have to be out there thinking? He's playing using his skill set and playing 100%, playing fast, playing reckless in terms of being able to make plays and not having to think about what his assignments are, because he does have a great feel for what he's supposed to do. All of those things are the traits that we're looking for, and certainly we're seeing that in a lot of the guys that we're interviewing, and certainly looking for how they're going to utilize some of the pieces we already have in place here. We also want to know their vision for how they develop young guys, because we got 2 first-round picks, and a lot of people, and probably rightfully so, think they may end up being defensive players, but at the same time, we were going to draft a defensive player when we drafted C.D. Lamb.
And last one here for you. You mentioned the 2 first-round picks. This will be the 6th time in franchise history you've had that. You selected Hall of Famers in 2 of those drafts. How exciting is it to have those 2 firsts, knowing that you have a strong track record of, hey, when we draft 2 guys in the past, they have completely changed things for our team?
Yeah, we feel really good about our process and the mechanics of how we go about drafting players. I think Will McClay and his scouting staff do a tremendous job. They're always looking for ways to get better. You're never perfect. And, we just feel very confident where we're picking at 12 and 20, that there's going to be good football players there. We just have to do the work. And like I said, we also got to get us a good defensive coordinator in place, that we know the vision for the type of players that we're looking for, that will complement the pieces that we have in place with our 3 big defensive tackles. Obviously, Easy had a great first year. You got Overshone, who's going to have the first full off season in quite some time, and of course, what we think of him. Bland will be coming off an injury, but he'll be ready to go early. So we've got a lot of good pieces in place. We just have to get the right staff and go to work and take advantage of an off season to improve that side of the ball.
Well, Stephen, we really appreciate the time. No, it's busy around here, so we'll let you get back to it. Stephen Jones, Cowboys COO and co-owner. Again, thank you for the time.
Thank you. Great being on.